Hello, very welcome to Progress Junior Golf. My name is Steve Jackson, and this is Ian Waterhouse. Now, this podcast is all about junior golf. This is show number 7, and today we're going to go overseas. We're going to look at golf on the other side of the Irish Sea. Golf is on the rise in Ireland. There's no doubt about that. So let's find out a little bit more about how junior golf is progressing over there. So we're going to be joined by Irish Junior Golf Tour organizer Michael Gallagher, and we're also going to get contributions by New Forest Golf Club professional Stephen Barrett and Irish golf journalist Emma Self.
You've got so much strength and depth at all tours. You know, you see the top end, and they're winning majors. And before Pádraig Harrington, it was probably just good for an Irish person to win on tour. So it's great for any junior who's 16 who's maybe thinking of something like that. There's opportunities there.
Talking of role models, that Leona Maguire has come all guns blazing recently onto the LPGA tour. We're seeing her out there. She's performing incredibly, and back home in Ireland, it's having an effect. And what more could you want for the next generation coming through?
I'm 37 now. I played golf. I started playing golf when I was 12. It has moved on leaps and bounds from the infancy of my career. I feel there's still a wee bit more to go, but we're, with the likes of Harrington and Rory and Shane and Seamus Power and now Leona Maguire coming through, I definitely feel they're the trailblazers in Irish golf for the younger kids to look up to. And you need that growing up.
Maybe as I was growing up, there was an age limit. You had to be 10 years of age to start playing, whereas now it's so accessible. You can play at any age. And then, you've with good volunteers, good helpers, the coaching structure in place, it becomes competitive quite quickly. You can play a competitive round of golf at age 6 or 7, and that just means that the teenage golfers have really improved.
So having that level of competition for juniors across Ireland is amazing as well. The international teams, you can see the strengths coming through there as well.
We have now got 10 or 15 Irish golfers where we could say to any junior, look at this person, emulate, have a look at their career, see what they have done. You look at Shane Lowry in the Midlands. What he has done is provided all the juniors in the Midlands with a sort of a stepping stone. It's something that they can aspire to.
When when sort of tour pros, the big names get involved with junior golf, it's nice for them to give something back, and they really want to. They love the game and they want to see the next generation coming through.
We mentioned the Irish Junior Open Tour, which has got their own figurehead, if you like, and not just anyone, but a legend of the game. I mean, Gary Player, a multiple major winner.
He's just unbelievable. Like one of the champions a few years ago, young lad called Rory Cooper. Rory had won, and literally Gary was on the phone congratulating him. Like, it's just been incredible, the stuff that he's done. It's incredible how it's just snowballed, and how enthusiastic and how much he wants to give back, to basically put his name to it and send all these videos and talk to the kids, and it's just been incredible. And same with Darren Clark as well. Darren Clark's put his name to our winter tour. So between Ping, Gary Player, Darren Clark, and Payne Stewart, they're all named on the trophies for the kids to win. Now I'm getting as much enjoyment out of it now as when I did when I was 12, 13 years of age and starting out. In 2013, I wanted to give people an opportunity. These young kids, 6 and 7, coming up to their golf lesson, and they're not to playing. There was no competitions for them to play in. Even the 12 or 13-year-olds, unless you were an elite golfer, single figure and low handicap golfer, there was no competitions apart from your club competitions to play in. So that's why I created the Irish Junior Open. I actually got the idea standing on the range at the Irish Open. I just thought, I wonder if there's an Irish Junior Open, and there wasn't. But the sponsors are so valuable to the running of the events, and the professional setup that I can afford to put on because of the sponsor support. And then once you get 360 kids coming to one event, I realised, right, this needs to be spread across the whole of Ireland rather than just my home golf club of Killymoon. So that's basically, it's just snowballed from there to now where there's approximately 24 events. Each year I just try and think, right, what hasn't been done, and what's going to basically keep everybody motivated and keep me motivated to, bring it to the next level.
He plays so many good courses. So the kids get a feel for, all different types, variations, and quality courses throughout the season as well. Portrush and Portstewart, they're top 100 golf courses in the world. You've got huge amount of courses on the coastline that offers links golf, which is difficult to learn as a junior. If you have to play in the wind, you're battling against a lot of the elements, and juniors who have that to contend with, it will improve their game as well.
I've sort of brought kids to golf courses where they've enjoyed, and they just, they've been so welcoming and want, they've been basically saying, can't wait to have you back. And I'm happy to bring them back there, because there's never a bad course. Try to, as much as possible, keep it, a good spread across the country. Give the kids an opportunity so that they're not having to travel, the length and breadth of Ireland to get to some of the venues. Some of the courses want to work with you, and some of them, unfortunately, they don't. So that's just the way it is. But the venues that the Irish Junior Open's been to has been brilliant. There is hidden gems there that you've never been to, and it's great, going there and getting that wow factor and realizing, right, the kids are going to enjoy themselves here.
If you stand up and play golf 18 holes in the rain and you enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it all the time. You just have to deal with it and battle through it. I think if a junior can go out and enjoy it, even in bad conditions, then it only stands to them in the future.
Golf is competing against lots of other sports for kids' attention. You play it outside in the rain, in the hail, and let's be honest, in Ireland, there's a lot of wind, there's a lot of rain, so you have to really want to go and do it if you're going to stick at it.
They get experience of all weather conditions. It helps make the golfer a more rounded golfer, and it builds a wee bit of toughness with the kids. Like some of the events we've had recently with the Irish Junior Open, the wind's has been crazy. It's not as glamorous as the PGA Tour and the sunshine all the time, but it definitely it makes you a bit tougher.
It's something that the juniors here as members and local golfers really look forward to. They talk about it for months in advance. Some of the kids that have played on the tour look forward to every event, and when one comes to their home course, it's just a bigger deal. We had nearly 40 to 50 juniors of all ages playing in it. They all had their club colours on that day. They were announced on the first tee box. It's a huge deal for somebody of the 8 to 10-year-olds. These things you don't experience. So it's brilliant. Yeah, I'll host one every year, I think. Here at New Forest,
there was 186 played at New Forest in that event, and that event was, and I think it was one of the fastest ever sold out events. But if there's anybody out there that feels hosting an event would be or want more information on hosting an event, feel free to reach out and I'll talk to them and hopefully we can find some new venues.
We'll set the course up quite nice. Like it'll be a good event. It's not like we just cut the grass normally. We'll have the greens a little bit quicker for the kids, and hopefully with some nice weather, the course will be looking really nice.
A 6-year-old can't compete against an 18-year-old, so obviously there needs to be a shortened golf course. They're used to seeing the people on TV shooting 6, 7, 8, 9 under par, so why shouldn't they be able to do that? It's not very, very short, but if it's short enough that gives them encouragement, and basically it allows them to have a bit of fun, make birdies, make eagles, make a hole in one, rather than it being a long slog where it's taking them 5 or 6 to reach the green, and they're losing their morale. You've maybe 3 different tee markers on each hole. Why not just have the cadets or the younger ones, the beginners, on the first tee marker, and as they progress, they're moving back to the second tee marker, back to the third tee marker. Then they're going to move to the ladies, then they're going to move to the men. So there's a natural progression there, rather than just saying, here's your membership tag, go and get a couple of golf lessons from the professional, and by the way, you're off the men's tees there, see you later. They're gaining encouragement and momentum, they're making birdies, and they're driving par 4 greens, and they're high-fiving their parents or whoever's caddying for them or whoever's out walking around with them. There's encouragement there. Parents or the kids will still come and say, do you remember that day I shot A, B, and C score, and remember that day I had a hole in one? That's what I want to hear. I don't want them turning around saying, that was so difficult out there, so tough. You know what? I don't think golf's for me. with any of the Irish Junior Open events, kids can come and play in one event, or they can play in all the events. They just pick and choose whichever events they wish to play in. There's like a leaderboard inside each of the age categories. Then there's an overall trophy or an overall title, which is the Darren Clark, Payne Stewart, Gary Player, and Ping trophies. So that's basically the person, irrespective of what age they are, whoever accumulates the most points across each tour wins the overall prize. All the age category champions, they'll also win a prize. So they will get to compete in the end of season tournament of champions, which the last 2 years it's been at Royal Portrush, which is hosting the Open, and Port Stewart Golf Club. You know, it just encourages them to, to play, get out and play and compete.
The media really needs to be showing the progress of junior golf and just how much fun it is. You know, it's also harder for kids to access golf. You know, it's not something that they just play in the playground at school, that you just need one ball and a group of mates and you can go for your life. We need to be showing the youth succeeding and people having fun, and at local competitions we're trying to make things positive and saying, oh look, here's 10-year-old so and so, he could be the next Rory McIlroy. But it's not about that. It's not always about that. And it's, you know, that puts a lot of pressure on people as well. I think when they're emerging, as if they are, you know, talented and look like they do want to pursue it, it's an awful lot of pressure to be the next Rory McIlroy. I mean, will there be another Rory McIlroy? Possibly not.
I'm a very active user on social media. I just find it's easy, you know, to basically communicate my passion, you know, and keep the kids engaged and entertained and excited about what's coming up. I've had a great relationship with the media. Basically, the Champion of Champions came about in 2019. My partner's brother, he had mentioned to me that now would be a great time to start up a worldwide champions event. I just sort of thought, you know what, he's right. Bringing all the top junior golfers and all the champions from across the world to Ireland, showcasing what we have to offer, and bringing along the Irish champions as well. Then I reached out to a number of the junior golf tours all around the world and explained what the plan was, and they were all on for it. COVID basically decimated it in year one, 2020. This year now we're all guns blazing. 250 junior champions, which is a full field, coming from over 40 countries from around the world. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be held at the top 5-star golf resort in Ireland, Lough Erne. It's going to be incredible. Lough Erne's held the G8 with all the world leaders. It's Rory McIlroy was the touring professional there for a number of years. It's just spectacular, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, in the last few days, there's been we have finalised the opening ceremony. So there's going to be bagpipes and Irish dancers, maybe a wee bit of something special going on as well. So, 3-day World Amateur Golf Ranking Tournament. It's now the biggest junior champions invitational in Europe. So it's been moving on pretty quickly, and going forward, basically, my goal is for just create a junior golf champions event unlike no other in world golf.
Playing off the normal men's tees, it is a long course, so Michael can set that up whatever way he wants. But it's tricky. A lot of water on the course. Opportunities to lose golf balls and rack up high numbers. You know, it's a test. It is a good test, but Lough Erne always is in good shape. I've played it maybe 4 or 5 times myself, and really, really challenging to try and get under par on that course. So it'll be a good test for anyone who does make the final, which is a great event. The Champion of Champions is just huge.
Irish golf across the world is renowned, and a lot of these champions from around the world, they've looked at the Irish golf courses, and obviously they know Rory and Shane and stuff, and they just want to come over here and play. But it's coming over and playing in a top class, World Amateur Golf Ranking event where they're competing against champions from all across the world on one of the top courses in Ireland. It's just going to be a treat for them, and that time of the year, Lough Erne's just going to be impeccable. When you drive in through the gates and you see the hotel, you just think to yourself, wow, there could be up in 800, 1,000 people at the opening ceremony. It's just going to be a spectacular event for them.
I think Ireland does mirror the way that junior golf is in a lot of places. You know, it's still more popular with boys. It is still more of a male game, but hopefully now things will be like turning a little bit now that they've got Leona to sort of gun for as well. And you know, once it is that thing, isn't it? If you see it, you can be it. And we use that a lot with female sports women, I know, but it's the same with men as well. You know, seeing Rory McIlroy, who's just a little boy from Hollywood doing well, and you live in a little town in Ireland somewhere, you know, why not? Why couldn't you do it?
Leona Maguire thing is definitely going to progress junior golf in Ireland, and specifically with the girls, in the same way that Rory done, you know, whenever he burst on the scene. Like going back till when Rory won, I think his first major, I can't remember where it was now, but his first major, the week after that, I was never as busy in my life giving golf lessons. Parents were basically ringing me up all day. That did progress onwards, and there was definitely a lot of, you know, young golfers came out because of Rory. And I think now with the Leona thing, and you know, Seamus Power starting to play well, or if Rory was to win the Masters in a few weeks' time, you know, it would just be incredible. So you need all them wee catalysts to, you know, re-energize and re-engage the younger golfers, and give them some, you know, give them a figurehead to look out for, and you know, aspire to be. I'd love junior golf to get, you know, break that mold and get into the schools, because it's you know, it's cross community. Anybody can play golf, so I think it's a perfect sport to get into schools, and I hope the governing body of Ireland, the Golf Ireland, can really hammer it home in the next few years and get golf into schools. You know, I'm not one to rest on my laurels, as I say. With my events, I'm always trying to find the next level and try and think of something different. You know, too many people talk about growing the game, but I would rather them, you know, talk less and more actions. The future's bright. It is bright, but it could be brighter.